In this video, we have the integral of 1 over the square root of x multiplied by 1 minus 2 times the square root of x. Now you can do this video using a U-substitution. One way that it will work is to let u equal to the square root of x and then transform the integral into one involving the variable u. And that'll work. You'll have to use partial fractions. So when you first look at this, you say, well, okay, you got the square root of x over here, square root of x over here. We can't involve partial fractions because we don't have a rational expression. But remember, sometimes when you transform the integral into the variable u, because you use a u substitution, sometimes it becomes a rational expression in the variable u. So you can use partial fractions with the variable u, and then when you finish the integration, you go back to the original variable and it winds up with the square root of x. So you can do that and it'll work. Now, the way that I did it, because I thought it worked a lot easier, sometimes when you do a u substitution, it'll benefit you if you include as much of the integrand as possible. So instead of just using the square root of x, I'm going to let u equal to 1 minus 2 times the square root of x. In other words, let u equal to this part of the integrand. So then when I take the derivative of both sides, du on the left, derivative of 1 is 0, and the derivative of minus 2 square root of x will give me a minus x to the negative 1/2. Look at this as square root of x. Square root of x, that's x to the 1/2, so this becomes a minus 1/2 here as the exponent. This will be a dx. And then I'm going to multiply by a negative, so that'll be a minus du over here. And then this will be a dx here. So this became a plus, multiply both sides by a negative. And then the x to the negative 1/2, I take it to the denominator, becomes x to the positive 1/2. And I'm going to just write that as the square root of x. So here's the situation. This 1 minus 2 square root of x, that's going to be your u. And then look at this square root of x, let's put it over here. So you got dx over the square root of x, like that. And then we're ready to transform. So the dx over the square root of x right here, dx over the square root of x, that's going to be your minus du. I'll put the minus out in front here, and this will be du. And then this 1 minus 2 square root of x, that's your u. And this is what some people call a beautiful transformation from the variable x to du. So we have minus du over u. And you should recognize that as your integration formula for the natural log. This would just give me minus, it's still there, and du over u is the natural log of absolute u, absolute value of u, but we always have to go back to the original variable. So that's a 1 for x here, 1 minus 2 square root of x. And that is plus the constant of integration. So final answer, minus the natural log of absolute value of 1 minus 2 times the square root of x plus the constant of integration. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.